Charles Wander for sending this in from North Scottsdale. Beautiful sunset.
You know what, when New Year's resolutions come to mind, of course, they're the biggies, losing weight or maybe improving your career. But what about an attitude adjustment? We all know we're living in tough times, but our next guest says there's always a way to stay positive. Bonnie Maley is the author of What is Happiness and Where Can I Get Some? And she's been kind enough to stay with us for both hours on this New Year's Day. Hi, Bonnie.
Hi, Scott.
Good morning. It's always great to have you here. So let's kick off 2010 this way. What is the #1 reason you think people have problems, you know, finding happiness or maybe staying positive?
Well, because they're tough on themselves. And they beat themselves up and think that if I look at my own faults and focus on them, I will get better. And as a result, they take things personally and they set unhealthy boundaries. And it's impossible to be happy if you don't love and accept yourself. So that's the first thing that you need to do.
After you wrote your first book and then you wrote your second one here, what else did you want to include in your second one that you were saying, you know what, I wish I'd gotten that in my first one? You know, I mean, you had a lot of, you know, some leftover thoughts.
Well, really what I did in my second book is like having several sessions with me where you're learning an entire program which involves how do I get that happiness that comes from within rather than looking for those external quick fixes.
Yeah, let's pick up on that. And you write this in the book. What's the difference between internal happiness and that quick fix happiness?
Well, quick fixes are all the things that we look for all the time. If I get a great job and make a certain amount of money, if I have a vacation, if I have somebody who loves me, if I make the sale, if I take a vacation, those are all the external fixes. And they're great. So
Sure.
I'm not saying to give them up in any way or shape or form, but what I am saying is that they only last a short period of time, and then we find ourselves looking for the next fix. Whereas when it comes from inside, whether you have the vacation or not, you still feel that peace and that joy in your life.
So how can people find that inner love, that inner happiness for themselves individually?
Well, it does take a change in how you look at things and how you think about things.
Okay.
And again, the start is you have to love and accept yourself. But also you have to say yes to the things that life brings you. Be accepting. Don't hate the things that you can't control and can't change, because that will take your happiness away. If you accept them, yes, you can make changes, but you're not fighting up against the things that you can't change, which takes your peace away.
And that's wasted energy too, because if you can't change it, why think about it?
Exactly.
Yeah.
And yet we spend a lot of time doing that, especially in our relationships. If my husband would only change, then I would be happy. If the traffic would go faster, then I would be happy. So that's the second thing that you can do.
Okay.
The third thing that you can do is really see every situation as an opportunity. If things aren't working out, if they're not going your way, if they're not happening, if it's so hard to make it happen, if you feel pain about something, listen to the message. There's a message there that maybe I need to shift gears.
Yeah, maybe make a left turn or maybe make a U-turn.
Yes, exactly.
You know? I want to ask you about this because 2009 is going to be remembered for some real life-changing moments. I mean, people lost their jobs. They had their homes foreclosed, furloughs, layoffs, things like that. These are major life-shaping events. So if someone's watching and they're thinking, you know what, I lost my job. How can I kind of build myself back up a little bit for 2010? How would they do it?
Well, it's really all about what you focus on. In anything in our lives, we can focus on the glass. You know, I hate to use the old cliche, the glass is half empty, the glass is half full. But even in that situation, what are you choosing to focus on? Are you choosing to be a victim? Are you choosing to blame the world and the world situations for why you are where you are? Instead, what am I good at? Keep your attention on what you're good at. What do you have? Keep your attention on what you have. Be grateful for what you have. Bottom line is that what we focus on, we get more of. So if you spend all of your time focusing on poor me and I'm not getting and this isn't working and I'm bad and I've lost, or whatever it is that you're focused on, if it, excuse me, if it's negative, then you're going to get more of that. And why? Because what we think about creates a behavior, it creates a perception, and it creates an outcome. Now, I'm not saying it's easy to do, but it's not really that difficult to get up in the morning and look in the mirror and say, I'm so lucky because I still have my health. I have a wife who loves me. I have my children.
Right.
I have...
We're healthy.
Yes.
Yes.
I have my mind. I have my abilities. And if you keep your focus on that, what it does is it gives you the energy that you need in order to move forward. When you're focusing on what you don't have and your losses, you don't have any energy and you feel very stuck.
Yep, the negative attracts the negative and the positive can attract the positive. Very quickly here, I've got just 10 seconds left. Where can people find your book? They can go to your website.
My book, What is Happiness and Where Can I Get Some, is available on lifebalancingcoach.com.
Also, and I've been on Amazon.com and the books are available there as well. Bonnie, have a terrific 2010. I'm sure we will see you in this new year. And Happy New Year's.
Thank you. You too, Scott.
Thank you for coming in. We always appreciate it. 6:20.